friends, welcome to another episode of the Swollen Goat Garage. I, as always, am your host, Chris. Tonight we're going to introduce you to another guy who works down here at the garage. He brings in lots of project bikes and loves restoring motorcycles. So I'd like to turn it over this evening to our good friend Hal.
This is a classic story of a classic flipper's bike. It is a 1973 Yamaha RD250. It was once blue and white. We've pulled all of the tank, all of the oil tank, the side tins, the headlight bucket, all of that's off and at the painters. We should have all that back next week. It'll look brand new. But when we're faced with a bike like this, when we bought it, rear tire is still flat. He threw in new tires, but it was a rusty, dusty, crusty mess, and the question becomes, is it worth it to buy? Is it worth it to keep? Is it worth it to turn? And we're thinking right now that this is a flipper's dream. We think that once the tins come back and they're painted up new, we do some touch up here and clean her all up, get the insides clean, take out the dents where we can, replace anything that's broken, make sure she runs and is operational. Once we get that far, that we have a running motorcycle that's probably going to be worth twice what we paid for it. So that's the whole goal on a flipper's bike. Not too much to do here actually. Even though it was an ugly son of a gun when we bought it, it is cleaned up nice. The things we look for when we flip a bike is the exhaust intact. We reach down underneath, we feel around here, want to make sure there's no rust, no holes, no seams that are split. This one has, maybe you can see it over here, it's got battery acid that's come down onto that fender and taken that chrome off. Fortunately, there's a side panel that goes right here, covers all that up, so we won't worry too much about that. Except for the fact that because we have brand new tires that were thrown in on this bike, we're going to replace these tires. When we pull this back end off, we'll clean and fix this swing arm all up and make it look brand new. The back end will essentially look new. The seat has no cracks. In fact, the seat's in beautiful shape. That's another thing we look for. If we recover a seat, that's about 80 to 100 bucks. If we got to find a new seat, we're looking at $150 to $200. This one was intact. The pipes were intact. Fork seals is another thing we check for. It's a real simple check. We just do this, and if it's dry, that's a good seal. The seals were good on this one. Everything else, it turns over. It's got compression. That's a good sign. We know that it's been sitting for an odd number of years, so we'll have to pull the carburetors, go through them, recondition them, put them back on. But if we have essentially with this bike and every bike, if we have fuel, spark, compression, and timing, it's going to run. And once it runs and it looks new, we'll turn her loose. We are only foster parents. We get them when they're rough, we fix them up and bring them back up to being in good shape, and then we turn them loose to good homes, and that's what's going to happen with this one.
Alright friends, well, I hope you enjoyed that segment with Hal and his RD250. That is going to be a smoking bike when it's all said and done. So stay tuned. We're going to keep you updated with that bike as it proceeds, and we'll get you some stuff of the final product. We'll probably even get you some videos of that machine running and riding. So as always, thank you so much for tuning in to the Swollen Goat. If you dig what you see, subscribe. If not, that's cool. Just keep checking it out. Thanks a lot, friends.